My mom turned my promotion party into my sister's engagement reveal. I grabbed the mic and dropped a truth that silenced the room. I am Stephanie Allen, a 30-year-old CEO at Bradley and Lane Capital in Seattle, Washington, where winters dip to 40 degrees Fahrenheit and summers reach 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Each morning, I brew dark roast coffee, analyze $50 million portfolios at my downtown office, and lead a team with strategies honed through a University of Oregon degree and relentless determination. My childhood home in Salem, Oregon, appeared idyllic, a $400,000 suburban house with a lavender-filled yard, white picket fence, and warm-lit family dinners. But within, my parents, Mark and Linda Allen, cast me as a shadow to my sister Claire, their genius, while I, the firstborn, was labeled average, my efforts ignored despite my sacrifices. Raised 10 miles from Salem's heart, I learned early that love was tied to potential, not effort. Mark, a software engineer fixated on brilliance, and Linda, steeped in 40 child psychology books, treated me as a failed experiment. At 3, struggling to count to 20, I disappointed Linda, who told Mark she's not learning fast enough. His cold nod marked me as unworthy. When Claire arrived, 4 years younger, our home became her $5,000 learning lab, $1,000 Swedish books, $2,000 musical high chairs, $3,000 Montessori tutors by age 2. I got $5 workbooks, a $1 pencil, and try harder, Stephanie. Family gatherings orbited Claire's feats. Relatives cheered, Claire's gifted, for her infant sequences, while my second-place art win at 8 drew Linda's Claire read a story. I hoped diligence would earn their pride. It didn't. The disparity stung, etched into our family's core. At 10, my perfect math test got Linda's that's expected, while Claire's B+ in history sparked a $200 cake party, relatives toasting her promise. Mark, setting up Claire's $500 logic board, ignored me. Her $20,000 private school came with a $30,000 SUV. I walked to public school in $50 sneakers. At 12, my 70 degrees Fahrenheit upstairs room, my sanctuary with forest views, was seized for Claire's $1,500 study desk. My things were dumped in a 60 degrees Fahrenheit laundry-adjacent closet, Linda dismissing my plea, Claire needs it. Don't make a scene. I sat on the cramped bed, fists clenched, tears suppressed, an afterthought in my own home. Gatherings amplified this, spotlighting Claire. Her Stanford program at 16 prompted a $5,000 bash, Instagram ablaze with our star. My Oregon business program acceptance, with a partial scholarship, got consider community college. Claire's $10,000 tutors were investments, my $100 art supplies were my burden. At dinners, 5 miles away, relatives praised Claire's essays, ignoring my debate wins. Linda's Claire's our future, her $800 necklace gleaming, crushed my $500 internship pitch. Mark's silence on my honors contrasted his she's exceptional for Claire. I told myself it was fine. In America, family means endurance, even unreciprocated. I valued self-respect, earned through $5 cafe shifts and $200 textbooks, hoping my $500,000 career would win their nod. They didn't care. They never asked about my $32 million save, my PRISM system, or the thrill of leading $50 million portfolios. When I shared, Mark grunted, sounds tough, before lauding Claire's failed $3,000 course. The pain, raw from childhood, wasn't Claire's $2,000 toys over my $20 sketchpad, it was their refusal to see me, their daughter, beyond a $400,000 home's facade. The Salem spring evening hummed at 65 degrees Fahrenheit as I entered my parents' $400,000 home, 40 miles from my Seattle apartment, the lavender yard scent blending with $1,000 gourmet dishes. I'd wired $3,500 for a modest party to celebrate my promotion to Chief Strategic Investment Officer at Bradley and Lane Capital, a $50 million firm, trusting Linda's promise of an intimate 70 degrees Fahrenheit gathering. White orchids draped $500 tables, golden ribbons twined the staircase, far grander than planned. My grandparents, Arthur and Helen, chatted by the $300 bar, but Claire, in a $800 red satin dress, descended with Andrew, her boyfriend, stealing breaths. As I raised my $50 champagne flute, Linda stood, radiant, dear family, we celebrate Claire and Andrew's engagement. Applause drowned my moment, my $3,500 hijacked for Claire's $5,000 ring reveal. I stood frozen, glass shaking, heart plummeting as Linda's gaze slid past me, a stranger at my own $3,500 event. I stepped forward, voice catching, but Mark seized my wrist, his whisper cutting, don't ruin this, Stephanie. Make a scene, and you're done, no family, no inheritance, nothing. His 65 degrees Fahrenheit threat echoed years of erasure, my $20 sketchpad, my stolen room, my $200 textbooks for Claire's $20,000 tutors. I freed my arm, resolve stealing. I'd saved $32 million with my $500,000 analysis, yet they buried me again. Raising my flute, I spoke, "Excuse me, everyone." The room stilled, Claire halting, Linda's eyes narrowing. This was to celebrate my promotion to Chief Strategic Investment Officer, funded by my $3,500. Linda agreed to host, never mentioning Claire's engagement. Murmurs spread, Arthur and Helen stunned, their $200,000 faith in me unspoken but felt. "I'm not against Claire's joy," I said, voice clear, "but I won't stay silent while my family erases me, as they did my childhood, my room, my college funds, my moments." Andrew turned to Claire, brow furrowed, "You said this was a family gathering." Her cheeks flushed, "I wanted the right time." Andrew's tone sharpened, "Using your sister's $3,500 to stage this?" I expected warmth, not this. He set his $50 glass down, striding out, Claire's $800 dress trailing as she chased him, her pleas lost in the 65 degrees Fahrenheit night. Silence choked the 70 degrees Fahrenheit room, the $1,000 catering now a bitter backdrop. Mark's face reddened, voice low, "You should know your place, Stephanie." Linda snapped, "You humiliated Claire in front of everyone." Their fury, a mirror of Claire needs it more, burned, but I stood firm, "This isn't a home, it's favoritism stage." Claire returned, tears turning to rage, "You're jealous, ruining my life." Her $5,000 ring glinted, accusing, but I felt only exhaustion, not pain, her blame a broken record. Helen's sharp "You chose this," Claire cut through, silencing her. Mark's final salvo, "You're no longer family, no contact, no inheritance," landed like a blade, their $400,000 home's threat as cold as ever. Arthur stepped forward, voice resonant, "If you disown Stephanie, our $200,000 estate, house, savings, shares, goes to her." Linda gasped, "Claire's our daughter." Helen countered, "Stephanie never demanded, never deceived. We don't reward lies." Claire fled upstairs, her $800 dress a fleeting flare. Linda trembled, "You can't." Mark turned away, silent. I gripped my purse, heart swelling, I never asked for this. Arthur's smile was warm, "That's why it's yours." I walked out, the 65 degrees Fahrenheit night's apple blossoms whispering freedom, my $3,500 truth unshackling me from their $400,000 façade. In America, family is love and fairness, but mine chose Claire's $1,000 spotlight over my $500,000 legacy. I'd given my childhood, my silence, yet they stole my moment, as they did my 70 degrees Fahrenheit room at 12, my $200 college dreams for Claire's $30,000 SUV. Their know your place was control, not care, their $400,000 home a prison, not a haven. Driving to Arthur and Helen's $200,000 warmth, I shed their $800 dress world, my boundary forged in betrayal, my $50 million firm and $500,000 truth my own. The Seattle dawn cast a 50 degrees Fahrenheit chill through my $1,500 apartment's windows, 40 miles from my parents' $400,000 Salem home, as the sting of their betrayal seared anew. Linda had turned my $3,500 promotion party, celebrating my rise to Chief Strategic Investment Officer at Bradley and Lane Capital, into Claire's engagement reveal, her Claire's engaged. Drowning my $500,000 triumph. Mark's "You're cut off" and Linda's "You humiliated Claire" at the 70 degrees Fahrenheit gathering, threatening no family, no inheritance, echoed years of erasure. I'd saved $32 million, yet they stole my moment, prioritizing Claire's $800 dress, leaving me invisible, a wound deeper than the hijacked $3,500. It was the annihilation of my place in their $400,000 world. I'd been the Allen family's unseen anchor, sacrificing childhood dreams in a $400,000 home that never reciprocated. Each effort, $100 art supplies, $5 cafe shifts, was a plea for love, a belief my $500,000 career would earn their pride. But Linda's "Don't be dramatic" and Claire's "You're jealous" revealed a brutal truth, I was a tool, not a daughter. The pain wasn't new, it tore open scars from age 3, when my counting struggles drew she's slow, while Claire's infant feets got $2,000 toys. My second place art at 8 was nothing to Claire's $500 reading, my 70 degrees Fahrenheit room taken for her $1,500 desk at 12. They'd chosen her $20,000 tutors over my $200 college funds, their Claire's potential burying my $32 million save. The deepest hurt was their callous dismissal, their refusal to see my milestone. Mark's "Know Your Place" framed my $3,500 as Claire's right, my truth as seen to her $800 dress's glory. Linda's "You ruined everything" prioritized Claire's $5,000 ring, $1,000 catering, over my $500,000 role, as if my life's work was trivial. Claire's "You destroy my happiness" shifted blame, ignoring her theft of my $3,500 moment, just as she'd taken my room, my dreams. They'd never asked, "Stephanie, are you okay?" They demanded my silence, my compliance, but when I stood for my $500,000 truth, they threatened disownment. The betrayal wasn't a party, it was the erasure of my worth, my childhood, my place, for Claire's $400,000 home spotlight. In America, family is love and fairness, but mine was Claire's $30,000 SUV against my $50 sneakers, her $3,000 parties over my $20 sketchpad. I'd valued self-respect, earned through $500,000 prism and $50 million strategies, believing my sacrifices, $200 textbooks, $5 shifts, would win their nod. I was wrong. I'd walked 3 miles to school, built a $500,000 legacy, yet they'd never said, "We're proud." Their no family wasn't about inheritance, it was love withheld, my pain irrelevant next to Claire's $800 dress. In my 65 degrees Fahrenheit apartment, their betrayal crystallized, they'd stolen my moment, my trust, offering only threats, leaving a void where family should have stood, my $32 million heart unseen. The Seattle dusk settled at 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside my $1,500 apartment, 40 miles from my parents' $400,000 Salem home, as I reviewed $50 million strategies, the memory of their betrayal, turning my $3,500 promotion party into Claire's engagement reveal, still vivid. Linda's Claire's engaged, and Mark's your no one at the 70 degrees Fahrenheit gathering, their threat of no inheritance, no family, marked my limit. I'd saved $32 million with my $500,000 analysis, yet they erased me for Claire's $800 dress. At that $400,000 home, I took the mic, exposed their favoritism, and left Arthur and Helen's $200,000 estate pledged to me. I severed contact, rose to CEO of Bradley and Lane Capital, and set a boundary, choosing self-worth over their validation, their downfall a result of their choices. That 65 degrees Fahrenheit night, as Claire's "You're jealous" and Linda's "You humiliated us" stung, Arthur declared, "Our $200,000 estate, house, savings, shares, is Stephanie's." Linda's "Claire's our daughter," met Helen's "Stephanie never deceived." Claire fled, Mark's "You're done" a final cut. I walked out, apple blossoms in the air, their $400,000 home no longer mine. Their rejection, stealing my $3,500 moment, wasn't new, they'd taken my 70 degrees Fahrenheit room at 12, my $200 college funds for Claire's $20,000 tutors. I blocked their numbers, their silence freeing, not wounding, my $500,000 heart unburdened. I threw myself into Bradley and Lane, perfecting $500,000 prism, predicting $1 million market shifts. Sleepless nights, $5 coffees, and $50,000 models made me CEO at 30, the youngest in history. On Market Mavens, I shared my truth, Claire's $3,000 parties, my stolen $3,500 night, saying, I rose for myself, not their approval. The viral clip, Family Steals Sisters Moment, with 500,000 shares exposed Mark, Linda, and Clare Allen. Their $400,000 world crumbled, but I soared, my boundary ironclad, no contact, no return to their $800 dress facade. Arthur and Helen's $200,000 estate wasn't my aim, their "You're worthy" was, affirming my $500,000 value. In America, family is love, but mine chose Claire's $1,000 gadgets over my $32 million legacy. I'd given my childhood, my silence, yet they offered threats. Their "Know Your Place" was control, not care. Leaving their 70 degrees Fahrenheit stage, I embraced my $50 million firm, Arthur's grip, Helen's faith, my $500,000 truth. Claire's 75 degrees Fahrenheit plea, how do you do it? Met my I stood alone. My boundary, forged in betrayal, held firm, my $400,000 past no match for my $50 million piece. The Seattle summer warmed to 75 degrees Fahrenheit outside my $1,500 apartment, 40 miles from my parents' $400,000 Salem home, as I led $50 million strategies as CEO of Bradley and Lane Capital. My Market Mavens expose, revealing Mark, Linda, and Claire's theft of my $3,500 promotion party for Claire's engagement, sparked a media storm. I'd given my childhood, yet they erased me, their "You're no one and no inheritance" a final betrayal. Arthur and Helen's $200,000 estate supported me, but my boundary, no contact, stood firm. Their $400,000 world collapsed, and I felt no glee, only peace, their ruin a consequence of their favoritism. Their downfall was swift, brutal. Linda's "You humiliated us" faded, her socialite mask shattered. Mark's "Your cutoff" vanished, his authority broken. Claire's "You're jealous" dissolved, her charm hollow. Salem's community, 5 miles away, shunned them, neighbors murmuring their disgrace. Melanie Harper, a cousin, emailed, Stephanie, they're pariahs. Linda's isolated, Mark's silent, Claire's lost. I nodded, unsurprised. The family that stole my $3,500 moment for Claire's $800 dress reaped their reckoning. The $400,000 home, once Claire's $3,000 party stage, was listed at $350,000, unsold, its lavender yard wild, my $100 sketch is long gone. Melanie texted, they're selling $500 heirlooms, barely surviving. The house, vibrant with $1,000 galas, stood barren, a testament to their greed, abandoned like my $32 million triumph. Claire, 27, lost Andrew, her $5,000 ring sold, her fashion course and influencer dreams crumbling. Melanie noted, she's jobless, back in your old $400,000 room. Her $20,000 tutors, $30,000 SUV, couldn't shield her from the 75 degrees Fahrenheit reality. Mark and Linda, stripped of their $500,000 façade, faced exile. Relatives, once toasting Claire's $1,000 gadgets, cut ties, their silence louder than cheers. Sarah, 15 miles in Portland, texted, Stephanie, they're done. Your truth exposed them. I replied, they exposed themselves. Linda's Claire's our future met my silence. Their ruin wasn't my aim, their $800 dress priorities were. In America, family is love, but theirs was Claire's $3,000 spotlight over my $500,000 legacy. I'd given my heart, yet they offered threats. Their $400,000 home decayed, but my $50 million piece shone, my boundary unyielding. The Seattle autumn shimmered at 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside my $1,500 apartment, 40 miles from my parents' faded $400,000 Salem home, as I led $50 million strategies as Bradley and Lane Capital's youngest CEO at 30. 3 years after Linda and Mark stole my $3,500 promotion party for Claire's engagement, their "You're no one and no inheritance" faded. My market maven's truth exposed their favoritism, ruining their $400,000 world. Arthur and Helen's $200,000 estate bolstered me, but my $1 million firm, true kin, and self-worth were my haven. I found peace, knowing Claire might plead, but my boundary held my heart with those who valued me. I excelled, enhancing $500,000 Prism, mentoring teams, my $50 million firm surpassing rivals. Weekly dinners with Arthur and Helen, 5 miles away, filled with $20 toast and $50 albums, healed old scars. Their "You're worthy" was my true inheritance, not their $200,000 estate. Melanie's "You inspired me" and readers "You gave strength" echoed my maven's impact. Claire, jobless in my old $400,000 room, confronted me in her $1,000 coat, "How do you thrive alone?" I said, "I stood alone, Claire. You didn't." She left, unchanged, but I stood firm, no longer the yielding sister. Mark and Linda's silence, their $400,000 ruin, was liberation. In America, family is love, but theirs was Claire's $800 dress over my $32 million legacy. I'd given my childhood, yet they stole my $3,500 moment. Arthur's faith, Helen's warmth, my $50 million empire were my kin. Claire's plea, their $400,000 fall, couldn't breach my boundary, forged in a 70 degrees Fahrenheit party's betrayal. I was Stephanie Allen, not their shadow, my $500,000 truth and $50 million piece my own, a life built on self-respect, unshaken by their $800 dress past. As Stephanie Allen, I poured my heart into a $500,000 career, saving $32 million for my firm, only to have my $3,500 promotion party stolen for Claire's engagement, my parents' "You're no one" cutting deep. Their betrayal, favoring Claire's $800 dress over my triumph, showed I was merely a shadow, not a daughter. For 30 years, I was invisible, my $50 million success dismissed while Claire was exalted. By exposing their favoritism and cutting ties, I learned family isn't blood, it's respect. Their "no inheritance" threat met my boundary, no contact. Now, in my Seattle haven with true kin like Arthur and Helen, I've found peace. To you, Americans who cherish family, don't let loyalty blind you to erasure. If your family dims your light, set boundaries. Your worth isn't their validation, it's your resilience. Don't echo my years of silence for those who overlook you. Say no when it's unjust, it's not betrayal, it's self-worth. Surround yourself with those who see your shine, friends, chosen kin. Perseverance isn't enduring neglect, it's forging a path with those who uplift you. I sought were proud too long. Start now, claim your value, live for yourself, and find freedom in being enough. If you faced a moment where your family overlooked your achievements for someone else's spotlight, how would you reclaim your worth? Would you confront them, walk away, or find another way to rise above? Share your story in the comments below.